You're getting ready to print something, and you hear about this whole bleed thing. This bleed. What is that? What the heck is? Well, we got a.
We've talked many a time.
We have
about bleed, and
why is it so important?
One of the veins of my existence, I guess, because too many people are taught in school how to design, and you just mentioned this, for the computer screen.
Yeah, sure.
You want it 5x7, 5x7. That's it. That's the size you make it. Make it RGB, make a JPEG.
Make a JPEG and post it on Facebook, and you're done.
And nowadays, also, with everybody designing in Canva,
yeah,
they've got these templates, but if you don't pay the extra money, you're not going to be able to export with bleeds, or it's not going to help you, like, say, oh, you need an extra eighth, so that 5x7 should be 5 1/4 by 7 1/4.
Yeah.
And it's, where in InDesign you can set that, and then they also have a parameter making sure that the important stuff for your piece is then set 1/8 of an inch inside of
information that you got to make sure is on the printed page.
Yeah,
some copy, a headline.
Yeah, some people put it like damn near on the cut line. It's like, if we're even slightly off, this is getting cut off, and it just looks bad.
Yeah, sure.
It's just like having white space around, anything that you're printing. You need a little bit of space, just like these sheets right here with a little space around.
A little bit.
Anyways, so bleed is very important, because even though our machines are calibrated, to the millimeter, and our cutting, our cutter is also calibrated as such, you're still gonna potentially be off by a couple millimeters. Not something that your eye's really gonna catch, but if you send us a 5x7, there's no bleed, there's pictures that are trying to go off the edge. What we're gonna have to do is kind of just flop it on each side, so you'll have the same image, so that there isn't white on those edges. But if we're slightly off, you're gonna see like a line of that same image repeating.
Very, very, very small, but it's one of those.
It still looks
graphically,
stupid,
it does.
and it doesn't look as professional as it should. Worst case scenario, we don't even add bleeds. There's just white space there. You cut it, and then your pretty piece, looks bad. Or we have to cut a little bit into the piece. Yeah. And then, with people not observing, and staying away from the sides, then, part of the picture that you want on there that's important is getting cut off, and type potentially that's important. And that also looks bad too, because if you have a printed piece and you don't have a little bit of that white space or extra border around there, that can also look horrible.
So you got to make sure you got an image that you want to go to the edge of a piece. You got to make sure that image on your layout bleeds past that, so that you got some wiggle room there when you cut it.
A little bit of wiggle room.
What's the typical, how much bleed? How far past that edge?
Well, standard is an 1/8 of an inch, 0.125 inches. So, and that's what we ask for whenever anybody's sending us art. So,
hey, another important thing about that, you need crop marks then when they send you the art. You need to know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because when we go to set it up and print it, we're going to put the crop marks on there, whether it's digital or offset.
Okay. Okay, good.
If it's not on there, it doesn't really matter. You just have to remember then, if you're setting it up by 7 1/4 by 5 1/4, all the relevant information that needs to be at least 1/4 of an inch in from each side to give it that extra eighth before the trim, and then the eighth of bleed on the outside of it.
You said bleeds for the bane of your existence. So, really, when you're designing a piece, you've got to be thinking about Michael here. Don't drive him nuts. And no, sure, you got a great piece, and that's good advice then, Michael. Appreciate it. And that's what you get at Foot Printing, not just great printing, good advice on how to make it pretty. So give them a call.